Evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us at tonight's post-match press conference. We're joined by Austin FC interim head coach Davy Arnaud following the team's 3-1 victory over Seattle Sounders FC. We can go straight into questions from the media. Y'all remember the drill. 2 questions per person on the first go-round, and we'll come back. As we have more time, Phil, we can start off with you.
Hey, Davey, congrats on the win, first of all. So just take us through the thought process of putting Irvin Torres on and when you did, and it's Torres for Torres sub, so, see what you did there and all that. Yeah. And then just how he performed.
Yeah, I thought Irvin Torres came in and did a great job. He impacted the game in a really good way, with and without the ball, and obviously the 2 assists it's awesome in the short amount of time that he had. For the third goal, the play that he makes it's a high-level pass. Irvin's earned the opportunity. He's been doing a really good job in training. I think you see the time that he has played and gotten minutes with the first team. He looks comfortable, and he still obviously has a lot of room to grow, and he'll keep getting better. But we've seen stuff like this from Irvin at training. So it wasn't, I don't want to say it wasn't a surprise. It always is when you see it for the first time, but he has that ability.
And then you were talking about implementing some new things during this midsummer break. So just out of what you saw tonight, like what worked particularly well out of what you were trying to implement, and then what kind of things do you still think maybe need some more development?
I thought it's a great result for us tonight. It really is. I think the good thing is you get a good result when maybe some stuff that we did with the ball was not great. We had some really good moments where you saw some good things, and some that were not as good. And there are things that we'll continue to get better and we'll continue to work on. Some of the positioning wasn't great throughout the first half. There were some solutions that we kind of talked about before the game that we didn't do a good job of managing that. But I think, yeah, after the water break and after halftime, I think the guys started to find some of the things that we've been talking about and some of the things that they've been working on, and they've done a fantastic job in these 5 weeks. So, again, this was the first test for us to kind of see what we're about in a real game, and that was what we talked about before the game. And I thought from start to finish it's never going to be perfect, but the result was great. Their grit and their ability to stay in the game was really good, and we saw some amazing moments.
Salome.
Profe, el día de hoy vimos a un Austin con poca dificultad en el área de la creación y sabemos que era un rol que cumplía Dani Pereira. Luego de este primer partido en su esquema, ¿cómo trabajarán para cubrir ese rol?
Basically, first game without Danny in the midfield. How'd you guys work to fill that role?
Yeah, it's the first game without Danny, and as I said earlier this week, Danny's he's a special player, and he has qualities that are tough to find, and this is why such a good offer came in for Danny. He has special qualities, and we have a group of midfielders that provide different things. And is there anybody that's going to be exactly like Danny? No, that's what makes Danny unique. But it's also I thought the guys that played tonight in there, Ilie and Sabo, did a really good job. When Owen came in the game, he impacted the game in a really good way. So in terms of that, in terms of the middle of the field, I thought we did a good job tonight.
Luego de la salida de Brandon pudimos ver a un Uzuni con más movilidad y comodidad, incluso con participación en la jugada del tercer gol. ¿Cree usted que es por el esquema o es que no hay tanta conexión en la dupla de Uzuni y de Brandon?
After Brandon came off, there was a bit more fluid movement in the final third, and I think they saw that on the third goal. So do you think that was more due to scheme or like connection between Mirto and Brandon?
No, I think Mirto and Brandon are going to have a great relationship, and they, they'll play well off each other. And there was, again, Seattle's a good team. They're a good team, so it's difficult, right? So as the game goes on, and I think both teams got tired, and now you inject fresh legs with Christian and Irvin, and with Placheta, who came in and did a great job in that front five. They add freshness, they speed things up, and I think that kind of helped with the connections a little bit. And again, the guys that came in impacted the game in such a good way tonight. We're really proud about that.
Eric?
Yeah, congrats on the win, Coach. Just kind of curious, you're pretty aggressive with your subs tonight. Did the conditions play a part in that?
Yeah, I mean, it was so. I mean, you could feel it. It was so hot. It was so hot out there. Honestly, I don't know how these guys run as much as they do on a night like this, but they did. Yeah, it played some role. I think you could see some fatigue, especially the first game back in the first full 90 minutes for guys. So it played a factor. But also we knew we had guys on the bench that could come in the game. You know, if we needed to protect a lead or we needed to go for the next goal, and we felt like there was another goal out there for us. So we made subs that of guys that we thought could come in and provide that for us. And one was great, and two was even better. So it was nice to see.
Great, thank you. And then I'm kind of curious about the decision to start with kind of inverted wingbacks, Gallagher on the left and Rosales on the right. Just kind of curious about that decision.
Yeah, so the way that we're trying to build up, we were talking about it earlier in the off season. You have to play. The players you have on the roster, you have to put them in position to be successful, and you have to play to their strengths. So the way that we're playing now, it lends to a lot of central players in the middle part of the field. Playing this way with wingers inverted, it provides some really good stuff for us in terms of dribbling back inside, in-swinging crosses, coming inside to combine. Facundo likes to play on that right side and come inside onto his left foot, and you see this, all over the world. You play with inverted wingers, and Johnny on the left side is the same. He's really comfortable on the left side, dribbling inside onto his right foot, but he can also go to the left and get to the end line, which is really important. And you saw Rosales tonight a couple times. He also has the ability to kind of drag that ball and get end line with his right foot. Listen, when you play with inverted wingers like that, there's certain things you're giving up, but there's a lot of good things that you get from it that you wouldn't otherwise have if you play them on their natural side.
David, congratulations on the result. Obviously, we heard your stance midweek on, the season is very much alive. Obviously, tonight was a big step in that direction. But how much of a priority, if at all, is specifically opening up lanes for younger players like Irvin, maybe Micah, maybe Jorge Alice, those kinds of players to crack in and get experience in the first team in these games?
Yeah, these are big games, and eventually you have to play young players to see what they're about, right? And see how they function in real games. And what I will say is you can do both at the same time, right? We're going for it. And I said this earlier in the week. We're all in. We're all in and pushing to get in the playoffs. And I think this was a good first step tonight. But we certainly wouldn't sacrifice that goal just to give minutes to guys that aren't warranted, aren't earned. Irvin has earned every bit of time that he got tonight, and then some. So as soon as those guys are training in a good way, and we said it to everybody, everyone is available to play, and we're going to push each other in training. And I certainly think it's young guys, if they're playing well enough and they deserve to play, they're going to play.
And then as you've brought this group back and maybe changed or not some of the things that you're trying to do, how much contact have you had directly with Jim Curtin, and how much of his principles, if any, have maybe been specifically tried to be implemented looking ahead to when he takes over as coach?
Yeah, I haven't had any contact with Jim Curtin. I did it very initially when he got the job, just to say congratulations on the job. In terms of implementing how he wants to play or his principles, I haven't had any contact to do with that. We're doing things the way, again, that fit the players, and we're pushing forward based on how we want to play for these next 6 months, and the best way that suits our players.
Phil, we can come back to you.
So, had a question on the first goal. Sabovic takes the corner kick. We haven't really seen him in that role too much. Broadcasters initially thought it was an Olympico on his part, and then they figured out that Ilya got ahead to it. But I'm just kind of curious about what, how he's kind of developed in terms of that set piece ability, because that isn't, again, that's not something that we've seen too much from him.
Yeah, it's a good ball. He provides good service. He's good on all dead balls, and maybe we haven't seen that as much, but Beto's done a good job with the set pieces with those guys, and he told me tonight before the game, he actually said, "Hey, first goal's coming on a set piece," and I said, "I'd love it." And they scored the first goal on a set piece, which was cool. And the most essential part of all these stuff, all the corners and free kicks, is the service. So when you get good service and you get good organization in the box, good things happen.
And then 2 days rest before the Houston game. You played in an oven on Wednesday. So what do you think in terms of rotations? Is there anything that kind of jumps out to you in terms of who you might utilize?
Yeah, we're going to have to. Yeah, listen, we have a lot of games coming up, a lot of back-to-back games, so we're going to have to utilize everybody. We'll start to think about those things tonight and tomorrow about who we're probably going to rotate. I don't foresee us rolling out the same 11 as we did tonight. We always could if everyone feels great. But I think we'll probably make a few changes just to keep everyone fresh.
Profe, un tema que ha causado mucha intriga desde hace meses ha sido el tema de Jayden Nelson. Luego del Mundial, ¿qué han podido conversar? ¿Está al 100% en lo que resta la temporada?
After Jaden's back from the World Cup, is he at 100% now, ready to go for the rest of the season?
Yeah, he's 100%. We're happy to have him back, and we were obviously proud of him and happy for him for what he got to do at the World Cup, and it was a great experience for him. And yeah, he's back fully in the mix and healthy, and he's ready to go. He's excited and ready to go.
Yeah, Coach, Plachetta looked very lively tonight. Just kind of how do you see his role going forward?
Yeah, I thought he was really impactful, and he's shown this since he first got here. He's really dynamic. He wants his engine and his physical capacity is super high. He covers ground, he runs behind the line. You saw him, he likes being on that right side to dribble inside onto his left foot. We talk about inverted wingers, right? He likes to come inside and combine, but his ability his timing to run behind the line is good, which I think is his best quality. So I think he'll keep having a really good impact for us. He could obviously do it on both sides, but I think you got a glimpse tonight of what he can be for us for the rest of the year.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we'll wrap there. Thanks, everybody.
Awesome. Thank y'all.